All right, Los Angeles man in divorce, 4 mistakes Ron SolutionByer is making. So this video is for Ron SolutionByer. He's decided he's going to file for divorce in Los Angeles this week. And he knows California family courts are based on slaughter all men laws. So he knows the only way he can escape this situation with minimal damage to himself is to get a signed divorce settlement agreement outside of court that is good for him and bad for his wife. So the situation. Him and his wife have been married for more than 10 years. Him and his wife currently live together. Him and his wife have no kids. He is the higher earner. Him and his wife do have property that was acquired during the marriage, which makes it community property, 50-50 split. And he has done a consultation with at least one LA divorce lawyer. Now, his desire is to escape with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage. So more specifically, he wants to avoid entering family court, aka avoid having contested divorce, because that's a lot of lawyer fees. He also wants to not get ordered to pay lifetime alimony to his wife, and ideally pay zero alimony. He does not want his wife to request that he pays her legal fees, which she can do since he is the higher earner. He wants to lose zero assets, or as close to zero as possible, and he wants to minimize drama / fights / time spent. Now he has thought through, and he does have a plan to escape with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage, but his plan has a few mistakes. So here's the 4 mistakes in his plan so far. So he wants to move out before starting the divorce process. Mistake. He's going to dump the divorce papers on her without explaining to her what is going to happen to the both of them. Mistake. He plans to logically explain to his wife why she should sign the divorce settlement agreement that is bad for her and good for him. Also a mistake. And we're going to go into all these, in a little bit, why they're mistakes. He plans to offer her more concessions to get her to sign the divorce settlement agreement the longer she refuses to. Also a mistake. Now, Ron SolutionByer recently ran out of his last idea to try on his own to overcome these 4 mistakes. So he's all out of ideas and is looking for an expert to pay money to solve them instead. Because solving these mistakes, and these 4 mistakes, is the number one thing he's focused on in his life at this moment, aka he's got to get them solved for ASAP. Because he knows solving them gives him the highest probability he escapes with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage. And that's his number one goal. Now, Ron SolutionByer has hired experts in the past that he discovered on social media and always made great progress from hiring them. He trusts himself in his own judgment to find the best option for him and wants to pay to work with the best in the universe to get all the above challenges solved correctly the first time so he can escape with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage. So right now, Ron SolutionByer is considering 2 or more options to help him solve the 4 mistakes above, and he's actively consuming their content and reaching out to them to figure out only one thing: whose process will work best for him and his situation. Now, I believe Ron SolutionByer, if he was to try to do this whole process himself, has a approximately 1% chance to escape with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage. And I also believe Ron SolutionByer, working with me and my Escape with Minimal Damage LA Divorce Mentorship, has a approximately 50% chance to escape with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage. So 50x, literally 50x, 50-fold increase in results, which means if his plan he was going to do on his own was going to lead him to losing, $200,000 in his Los Angeles divorce, him working with me would give him, an estimate, approximately 50x better results. And, so instead of losing $200,000, we're going to apply my 50x better results to that. It's only $4K loss instead, which means approximately $196K in savings by working with me. Estimated. Don't have exact numbers for this, and the probabilities, but in this in this example here with these numbers, approximately $196,000 in savings by working with me. So that above is who our video is for today. Everything we said above, that's Ron SolutionByer and his current situation. So Ron SolutionBuyer's 4 mistakes. First one, he wants to move out before starting the divorce process. Okay, so any man that decides this, he has puff P syndrome, aka he's basing his plan of what to do based off of previously unknown female psychology. So previously unknown female psychology, puff P syndrome. What I believe what should actually happen is that women will feel FOMO and for his assets, and her only recourse to continue to get access to those assets is through the court system, which means higher probability she makes it a contested divorce and does not sign the divorce settlement agreement outside of court. Also, her inner circle, the women close to her, if you've moved out and she's having money problems or worried about money or retirement or whatever, her inner circle, that she's going to be talking to, they're going to tell her like, well, hey, you still got a chance to get his stuff through court. Just go to court. The divorce laws are in your favor. And they could push her to get a divorce lawyer, which could push her to, check mark the box that makes Ron SolutionByer pay all her legal fees. So I definitely see this as a mistake. Second, he's going to dump the divorce papers on her without explaining to her what is going to happen to the both of them. Again, puff P syndrome, because the woman's not being led correctly, which means her mind's going to wander on, what's going to happen. Which again, self-preservation is probably going to go to the worst thing, which I don't know, she loses everything, the worst thing possible. And again, her inner circle could influence her since she doesn't have leadership from you to know what's going to happen. Which could again tip her just enough over the hump to want to go to court to not get to get more of your stuff and not miss out on more of your assets. Third, he plans to logically explain to his wife why she should sign a divorce settlement agreement that is bad for her and good for him. Again, puff P syndrome. Women work on men's brains work on logic. Women's brains work on emotion. So trying to use logic for this, it ain't gonna work. But it is possible to get a woman to sign a divorce settlement agreement that is bad for the woman but good for the man, if the man does the correct actions that manages the wife's emotions correctly. So it's about the actions and not the words. It's probably like 99% the actions, 1% the words the man says. Lastly, he plans to offer her more concessions to get her to sign the divorce settlement agreement the longer she refuses to. So again, this is puff P syndrome, previously unknown female psychology. So basically, for all these, if the man knew the previously unknown female psychology, he would be choosing. So if Ron SolutionByer knew the previously unknown female psychology that he doesn't know because it was previously unknown, he would be making different decisions for all these. And he wouldn't be making these 4 mistakes. If this happens, the previously unknown female psychology, specific example for this one is Women Are, the children's book titled If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. If you don't know that when you were younger, or never read that to your child, or have never read it at all, never heard about it, it can be bought as an ebook or from the library. Basically means if you budge even on one thing, she's going to try her hardest to get 10 more things. So you offer her more concessions is just opening her up to literally asking for 10, 20, 100x more stuff. So again, based off puff P syndrome, this is a mistake. And now, after hearing the reasoning why these are mistakes, Ron SolutionByer has realized he doesn't know where to begin to solve this puff P syndrome. He's all out of ideas, and he's not going to spend any more time trying to figure it out on his own. He's going to pay an expert to get all this solved this week, so he can escape with minimal damage from his current Los Angeles marriage. So if you're in the same situation as Ron, solution buyer up above, this whole video that we talked about his situation, and you want to learn more about my escape with minimal damage LA divorce mentorship to solve all the above mistakes, put you on the, approximately 50x better path to getting, what you want and escaping with minimal damage from your current LA marriage. So if you have this desire and you've gotten the following data from a consultation you've done with an LA divorce attorney, you're going to have to come with this data. If you decide you want to talk about this mentorship here. And these can be basically like specific questions you ask the divorce lawyer, which would be, based on our differences in income and since our marriage was greater than 10 years, how much might a judge order me to pay her monthly and lifetime alimony if we do not get a signed divorce settlement agreement outside of court? So that's the first question. Well, I'll need the answer to that for us to talk on a call about this escape with minimal damage LA divorce mentorship. Second question to ask the LA divorce lawyer / attorney, since I'm the higher earner, since Ron solution buyer is, since I'm the higher earner, how much of my money can be used to pay my wife's attorney's fees if my wife requests it? Which, there's a box that can be checkmarked for the wife to request it. What dollar value of my assets are community property? If I acquired my fourth question, if I acquired my pension / retirement / assets before marriage, but then I put money I earned during marriage into those assets, has it poisoned them and actually turned them into community property? Whereas maybe you thought they would remain separate property, but they may actually be poisoned and have been turned into community property. Fifth question, can I lose zero in my LA divorce? So lose nothing, walk away with all my stuff. If my wife and I both sign a notarized divorce settlement agreement outside of court where it says I lose zero, that's a big question. That's a good one. Sixth, how much could a contested divorce cost in legal fees if I do not get a signed divorce settlement agreement outside of court? So these are 6 questions and answers I'll need to hear if you want to learn more about this, so that you can escape with minimal damage from your current LA marriage. All right, so if you meet all these criteria, here are 2 ways to contact me. On my phone, got a burner number, 865-205-7499. Maybe leave voicemail if I don't answer. IG @notdivorced3. Also, I believe it's the same on Facebook. So maybe comment something on my profiles or send me a message. I think both apps offer like in-app calling or video calling, so you can do that if you want as well. And I'll probably eventually see it. Or if you don't hear back, keep finding some way to get a hold of me, because you really want to get this escape with minimal damage from your current LA marriage. It's the number one thing you got to solve right now in your life. All right, that's everything. Adios.